the challenge I dislike the most. But hey, you know what? That's why we do this. When are you ever going to draw a freaking brownie
Right.
using oil
Watercolors.
pastels and watercolors? Hello guys, welcome back to Talk Parlor number 13, episode number 4, and I will gladly name this episode the Brownie episode. My name's Adam.
And I'm Jordan.
Oh boy, Jordan.
Yes.
How?
Oh boy.
Please tell our audience about this challenge. What did the dice grant us with?
So the dice granted us with we rolled for a subject matter. That's how this all starts.
Subject matter. Yep.
Yeah. We rolled 7 for food. And you guys have learned that in our past episodes how we determine, for example, our goldfish and the religion Shintoism, how we determine what
Specific
food we're gonna do, so that way we're both doing the same thing, and it's strict and absolute to the challenge. So we rolled 7 for food. Then we did the spinning wheel again, and we added a bunch of different foods. We had pizza, cheeseburger,
mushrooms.
We had mushrooms. We had different desserts, ice cream, spaghetti. We had so many fun foods. And then this one was my least favorite of them all. Brownie. Because it is so brownie. And, we landed on that.
It's very brownie.
It's very brownie. And I'm thinking, okay. And then the dice did bless us with cosmic vibes, I feel like, for our color palette, which was pretty cool.
You feel like that's a blessing?
I feel like it could have been a lot worse.
I feel like that was just right down more the hole.
I feel like we could have gotten, I don't know. It's pretty bad, huh? There was just nothing good that you can do with brownie, we felt like. And then our style was cartoon.
Yeah.
So
but we had one last hope.
We had one last hope for the medium. And then, you know what? The dice just decided to get even more hateful. And we landed on mixed media. So that's where we take 2 D10s and we roll them again to determine our medium.
You could not have gotten a worse.
Yeah.
You can't make
does this stuff, Oil pastels and watercolor.
Because those go great together.
Those go great together. How are we going to make that work?
Oil and water.
Yeah, oil and water. That's great. That's awesome.
That's all you need to say. Just
leave
it at oil and water.
No blending. It's all separation. This so separated. And it was it was a rough week, and we could not wait for this one to be over. But trials and tribulations through this week, it was a lot.
It did lack. That's for sure.
And, overall, I think we drew freaking brownies. We drew brownies, and I love that both of them have a story. Cartoon comic style. Now, also, with this week, since we went after New School, we implanted a new rule. No animations back to back.
Correct.
Animations then go on a 3-week reset, just like how we've explained before. Challenge is still completely randomized, but just to push out different things. That way we're not doing new school, cartoon.
Right.
Pushing out more variety.
Because, cartoon and new school, they kind of... They're different in their own ways.
Different, but same.
Yeah,
so
you could make the same correlations between the two.
Definitely. I think that a way that we stayed away from the new school style with this is that these are exaggerated features, but not as exaggerated as new school would be.
Right.
Especially with yours, it looks like a comic skit. I think that I could, someone could argue and be like, that's definitely a new school brownie, but it's like what am I going to do?
Brownie?
Yeah.
Well, it's a little more difficult than what you might initially think.
Absolutely. Since we both have a comic style, why don't you tell the story on what's happening with yours before we get into design phase, before we get into anything else? Tell me what's happening with your brownie.
Okay. Other than I was totally displeased with what the dice did. I mean, I think it's pretty. I think everybody's got it that we were not happy with what we got.
Yeah.
But I think it was appropriate.
It was
appropriate and appropriate time because there's like it really showed you like how far out in left field this can really go.
Right, exactly. And you know, some people would probably think, "Oh, that's not left field at all. Just do a brownie." You know, just do a brownie. Well, whenever you want to tell a story and create something, it's like, okay, let me put a brown brick right here and call it good.
Essentially, yes.
Essentially, yes. All right. So, what's your story here?
All right. So my story, I guess I'll just hit it off because we're not going to get to the design phase yet. We're just going to go through the story. So, I got this little alien spaceship up here. My brownie's down here. And my brownie is, he's eating a pot leaf. I mean, I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Pot brownie, pot leaf,
Right.
So, these little alien spaceship dudes, they're flying in and they see this brownie eating a pot leaf and they're like, yo, stop. Let's get that brownie. So they turn on their little light and they're sucking him up and he's down here just walking along the sidewalk. He's like, bro, I'm so... Whoa. So, I mean, in a nutshell, that's the story.
It definitely tells a story. And those aliens are definitely like, hey, he's eating that. Let's pick him up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We want some of that pot brownie.
Right. We're going to get a snack too.
Yeah. We want to go on a trip.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. in our favorite rocket ship. Flying through the cosmic vibe sky.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's kind of the story. Not sure where I thought of this at or how I even got there, but we'll get into it. So, the story behind yours?
All right. So I knew that I wanted to do a cosmic brownie. So I have my little man here, and he has just landed on this planet, and then cosmic brownie, little Debbie. So I have the little Debbie spaceship up here. She's saying, "Bye, son," and then the little brownie saying, "Finally, I'm a certified cosmic brownie. Bye, mom." And then you can just use your imagination as to little aliens or whatever else that's kind of out of frame saying, "Hey, Jared, ready to eat? The mothership just landed us a snack." So it's kind of a little bit of an evil story. The little Debbie mother is dropping her wonderful, now certified cosmic brownie child off to be eaten. And he's thinking that it's a good day. It's a good day. It's not a good day. It's not a good day.
It's not a good day.
Yeah, it's funny how we both, implanted a lot of humor into this challenge because we needed it with how much we hated it.
It was I think let's get into the design phase. Or the research phase.
Mm-hmm.
Did you do any research for this?
So, no, not really. No research. You and I remember we actually sat down and started trying to come up with those ideas.
Yeah.
And neither one of us went to the same path that we were going for.
Nope.
Yeah.
I think we got some time-lapse videos of us doing it. I think, some of these things that we have stored on our phones, one, we need to get them up on our Facebook page, on Instagram, all these different places so we can get them off of our phones and they quit taking up space. So a lot of these things we're going to kind of start posting, for you guys to kind of see. Some of it, when we do a big drop, it may not all make sense, but nonetheless, it's kind of cool to see.
Nonetheless, it's still, hey, what have Adam and Jordan been doing, throughout these challenges? And it's just content to post throughout the week.
Yeah, and so we do have content of, us drawing and time lapse and whatnot. And if you can make anything out in the time lapse photos from this week, you will learn one thing, that neither one of these drawings are where they started at. I mean, they are so far from where they started. And that's, that's par for the course sometimes. I mean, it's going to happen, and that's what we talk about really in our design phase, is our evolution of our drawings. How does it start and how does it evolve?
Right.
And what does it become? Research. Really, honestly, I'm kind of like you. I didn't do any research for mine.
Yeah.
I mean,
I looked up what little
what do you
Debbie
do?
looks like.
What do you do?
Yes.
I mean,
Right.
how do you research a brownie?
Right. We all know what
Hey.
one looks like,
Yeah,
especially me.
we all know what one looks like. We all know what they taste like. Um, so research
So
wise,
how'd you come up with the design?
oh my gosh, honestly, I started Cosmic, and I knew that I wanted Cosmic Space.
Yeah.
That's the brownie was the last thing on my mind. I really started Cosmic Space. What do we see in Cosmic Space? We might see colorful planets. We might see an alien spaceship. We're going to see all these bright and vibrant, like Milky Way type colors. So that's kind of where I went to. And then I'm a big do you believe in aliens?
Right.
Do you believe in alien abductions?
Aliens.
Yeah. So, I've, huge fan of Joe Rogan and his podcast and some of the people that he's had on his podcast as far as, whether it be their own encounters with alien abductions or whether it be where they were working at or, all these different people that he's had on the show. So it's I've always kind of been intrigued. So when he has those people on, I usually try to tune in and listen to it because it's really fascinating
stuff. Yeah.
And so that kind of popped into my head like, oh, cosmic space, cosmic worlds, alien spaceships. Let's do an abduction scene.
Yeah, definitely.
And so I was like, okay, what can I do with the brownie? And I had always kind of in my original, when we were sitting down at the table and we have our time lapse going, I had kind of played around with the pop brownie idea a little bit, but then it was like, okay, my aliens are going to be abducting a pop brownie, because they want to get blasted. Right. I mean, plain and simple.
Blasted into outer space.
How much better can it be? It all kind of flows together.
Right, and just such a witty little concept,
a witty little concept that could tried to throw my little bit of humor into it. I'm not that funny of a guy, but tried to throw my little bit of humor into it, and yeah, that's what I come up with.
I think it worked out really great. I think it worked out really, really well, and I love that it is readable. That this brownie is definitely getting abducted by those aliens. It can't be anything else,
No, I mean it can't. I mean it really can't. I just, I put the icing on him just to kind of give him a little more pizzazz, I guess. And I thought it was funny that he had icing kind of dropping out of his mouth. Like, and then I tried to give him his little bloodshot eyeballs, and but I wanted to capture all those bits and pieces. I wanted that to be showed like them pulling them up and the icing just kind of, being stretched out.
Right.
It's just one of the things as horrible of a challenge as this was. It was just have fun with it. I mean, at the end of the day, that's all you could do is just have fun with it because there was nothing else to enjoy about it.
It was a difficult week.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I mean, I struggle with it. I mean, now what I will say is once I kind of had my concept down, things did kind of tend to start flowing together. I still was unsure about how I was going to mix oil pastels with watercolor. That was kind of tricky to do and understand and learn.
It was.
So anyway, that was kind of my design phase. How about yours?
So with mine, I guess I just really wanted it to tell a story. And that's kind of the take that I wanted to play on was Little Debbie Cosmic Brownies. And just rolled with that. I wanted to incorporate Little Debbie in there in her spaceship dropping her son off for his ultimate doom. That's really what it was. And
Ultimate Doom.
Ultimate Doom.
Sorry, little guy.
Goodbye, honey. Yeah, you're gonna get eaten. Have so much fun. And then one thing that I really love about
I guess my question is, how did it come up to Ultimate Doom? I mean, where did that come from?
Right,
I mean,
yeah, that just kind of came along with the
was it
process.
a bad night at work? I mean,
right. It was a bad phone call with my mom. Just kidding. No, so I wanted a spaceship in there, and I didn't want ours to be so much the same, with the outer space and this, that, and the other. And you were doing aliens, and I was like, let's do aliens, So instead, I did Little Debbie, a rocket ship. And well, also before this even happened, remember I wanted to do a take on Toy Story.
yes.
And that was my first design, was I wanted like the cosmic brownie there instead of Pizza Planet, Brownie Planet, and I wanted the claw machine in the background. And I was like, man, that it's not coming together. I can't
So
make this work.
you can imagine, to my surprise, how we went from Toy Story
right.
to
Ultimate Doom. Yeah. But I got the inspiration actually for the little rocket ship whenever I was drawing the claw machine. And I was like, I want that in there somehow, some way. And it's not the same one, but it does have similar styles. And yeah, I also wanted a plate. And so instead of a plate in outer space, I did a take on Saturn without the top, putting the brownie on the planet, like a plate planet. It's Saturn, but it's not Saturn. It was just neat, and it was kind of fun how it did come together. And I was like, huh, I hate this, but
I hate it, but it works.
But I'm enjoying what's getting thrown down here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I ended up just going a really dark route with it. And
hey,
it worked.
I love it. I mean, I don't love it, but I love it.
I hate it, but it's like, you were the best that I could do.
Yeah.
Have fun. I hope I never have to draw you ever again.
Yeah. It like I said, it really posed some challenges. I mean, conceptually. You know? I mean, that's the biggest thing, is the concept, the design phase, trying to come up with this. That, in my opinion, was the biggest challenge to this this entire challenge.
Well, also, Adam, watercolors and oil pastels are not meant to coexist together.
No.
They, at least in my opinion, you cannot mix them. So, for example,
I mean, you shouldn't be able to, but we did a pretty good job.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's not pretty good. It's not to toot my own horn or anything. It was pretty cool. So yeah, with mine using watercolor and oil pastels, I knew that I had to have that like separation with them, and it's also really hard to get those crispy cartoon lines with oil pastels too. That was another thing that I ran into.
A fat freaking crown.
Yeah, it's like a fat freaking crown. Exactly right. And that was really difficult.
I probably just insulted somebody who loves working with oil pastels.
I'm glad you do. I'm so happy that someone is out there doing the Lord's work, but it was really hard to work with the two of them together. But I mean, by gosh, we did it. We did it. What show me your separation here on yours. What is watercolor? What is oil pastel?
Okay, so pretty much sidewalk is oil pastels, tree oil pastel, over the top of watercolor.
Yeah.
Brownie, he is a mixture of oil pastel and watercolor. My black background in the sky and the space is all oil pastel. The cosmic space scene here, that is watercolor.
Nice.
The planet is watercolor, and the spaceship is watercolor.
I love the spaceship.
It was, we say it was difficult to work with these two mediums that are total polar opposites. And I think difficult may be the wrong term. because
it was challenging. It was very challenging. How are we gonna make this work?
it was more of making sure that you put your watercolor down 1st
Mm-hmm.
and then come in over the top with an oil pastel.
Yeah. Well, it's so interesting to see how differently we did things. You put down your watercolor first and went on top of the oil pastel. With me, I kind of separated everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, the background, all oil pastel. My chat bubbles, watercolor. My planet, watercolor. My brownie, all oil pastels. And then my rocket ship, watercolor. Because I wanted that, crispiness, and honestly, I had no idea how to mix the two of them together. That was going to be quite difficult. But it was pretty interesting, to say the least. It was very fun, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, it had its moments of fun.
It had its moments.
Um,
I think that both of us just really fell in love with this little story the artist did, and the story is what really shined out.
The story is what helped. I mean, quite honestly, that's what helped. Are there parts about it that I like? Yeah, I mean, as much as I don't like the overall piece, just because the concept is so weird. I think that's the biggest biggest drawback to it is the concept. But hey, that's what we rolled. That's what we were dealt. We had to live with it.
Right. I love your alien spaceship, and I love this little man's shoes.
Yeah, I know.
The shoes are great.
Aren't they awesome? I mean, the spaceship. The spaceship is between the spaceship and the planet. Those are my two favorite parts of the whole thing. I mean, if I could get rid of the brownie and just have the spaceship, I mean, holy cow!
Right.
I love it. But for me, it was just I played around with. I just by my nature, I had to play around with, putting oil pastel down and then trying watercolor over the top. Yeah. Obviously, that didn't work, but you can't go the other way. You just had to make sure it was the last thing you were done. You didn't want to add any more to it because that was it. You weren't going to do, once the oil pastel goes down, that is final.
Yeah. And that's another thing to head on with this one is this is our first challenge where if it's down, it's really down. It's not like with acrylic paint where we could go over and try to cover it up like last week. I mean, you can't really cover up this oil pastel.
No, it's pretty much there. Yeah, I mean, you can scrape through it with a knife, but it's difficult to do. Difficult, yes. Doable, yes. Mm-hmm. You just want to do it for certain little things.
Yeah.
Dislikes the brownie. I mean, honestly, the main source to the whole thing is the thing that I dislike the most about it. Just because.
Well, it's such a hard thing to execute,
Yeah, it's like, how do you bring a brownie to life? And then not only do you bring a brownie to life, but how do you bring a brownie to life and make it look good?
Yeah. Yeah, even in the film Sausage Party, they had a hard time making the food look okay.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just not meant to be. I mean, in all honesty, it's just really not meant to be.
Yeah.
And I think, sorry, the whole reason food is on our list, I think the initial thought was, and this is where, forethought really lacked on our picks, was, food is awesome when you take food and you put it on a plate and you draw it.
You draw it like still life. Like still exactly.
Life. And it really never crossed our minds that, hey, you can wind up with a freaking brownie that you have to do a cosmic color.
And, also, this is in my mind, the hardest thing that we had on the spin wheel. Imagine if we got pizza, and making a little cheese
or
dude
a mushroom. Oh my gosh, a mushroom.
Yeah, that would have been so much easier, just so much cooler.
That's true.
But cut of a piece of a thing, a brownie. Are you kidding me? How are we gonna do that?
Yeah.
One thing that I will say about yours is that reads more brownie-like. And if I did not have these little cosmic brownie things on mine would look like a loaf of zucchini bread, you know?
The little Debbie spaceship helps too.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Kind of
know?
sell. That's another thing is I wanted to sell that it was a brownie. And yeah, not a loaf of zucchini bread.
What do you like most about yours?
About mine, I definitely think the little Debbie spaceship. I mean, I look at her, she looks kind of mean.
Kind of evil?
Yeah, she does. I didn't want to add too much like happiness to her face, and I kind of wanted to give her a dead eye smile, which was very easy to do. You know, she's so small anyways, as long as I could keep it to just, you know, that without adding too much. Yeah, she looks mean. But she's there and she looks like she's gonna eat your heart out for sure. Like with her teeth, not her love and emotions.
I love your spaceship.
Thank you.
I think, quite honestly, the spaceships in both of ours are just like we knocked it out of the park with the spaceships.
They stole the show. For
the brownies are like, nah.
Yeah,
they're there.
Right.
They're there because the challenge says they got to be there. But the spaceships, if this would have been a spaceship challenge,
oh yeah,
oh
a cartoon spaceship challenge,
yeah.
This would have been so great. Yeah, we sized that up. We sized this up. I don't know why I draw a little Debbie spaceship any other time, but
yeah, I mean it's, you know, it presented itself with its own challenges. By far, to this point, the challenge I disliked the most. But hey, you know what? That's why we do this, because in all honesty, when are you ever going to draw a freaking brownie in a cosmic color palette using oil pastels and watercolors? It's not going to happen. How far outside of the box is that challenge?
I mean, this is further than Taco Bell, you know.
I'm telling you. I mean, it is just, but that's what's cool about this.
Yeah, definitely. It showed us yet again, wow, this is pushing us out of our comfort zone.
As much as we disliked it, would we have ever drawn this in any other normal circumstance?
Never.
I mean, we would have never even come up with the idea.
Exactly.
You could have brainstormed for hours and never come up with this idea. You know, in all honesty. I mean, I'm not going to just sit there, oh man, I just got a hankering to draw a brownie.
Right. Man, I would just love to draw an evil little Debbie.
Yeah, I mean, so that is the whole point behind these challenges. Again, the vote ended with Jordan winning. Number 4.
Yeah.
4 in a row. She's killing it, guys. Killing it. You know, so again, I don't care.
Good. And
I just enjoy drawing.
Yes,
but not
exactly,
enjoy drawing this.
And I'm so thankful for that mentality. I'm so thankful that it's such a friendly competition, and I'm so thankful that we work together every time, you know. It's just so good. It's so awesome. Like, we collaborate on every single one of these, bouncing ideas off of each other. Well, you know, try this, maybe try this. And it's so nice.
Oh,
there was so great.
There was one good outcome to this. We did get to go to the art store and buy.
We did get to go to the art store.
Yeah.
And buy oil pastels.
Yeah, because we didn't have oil pastels. So we got to expand our art
again.
Our art toolbox.
Yes.
So
because the dice love making us spend money.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't have anything else to add to you.
You know, I really don't with this one, but I'm very happy in the direction that it went. You know, we've talked about our challenges with this so much, the oil pastels, mixing it with watercolor, and you know, overall, guys, it was a fun time. It was, you know, and it was kind of fun to complain about it. You know what I mean? Like,
and we have complained about it.
Definitely.
And to be honest with you guys, we're behind on episodes, so you know, we're actually in week 8.
Yeah.
And we still complain about the brownie.
We still complain about the brownie. We never want the brownie ever again.
And it was week 4.
Right.
So when we get to that week 20 challenge where we said we're going to put all these back into a drawing and re-roll, I hope and pray that we don't land on this one.
We let the dice speak for themselves.
Should we go to week 21 and just leave this one off?
I swear to God, Adam.
Oh, man.
I'm not doing it again.
Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in to Talk Parlor number 13, where we go head to head with our art creations, and you all vote for them.
Yes. Don't forget to leave comments down below. Let us know what you guys thought of these brownies. If you haven't voted, tell us which one that you would pick. Tell us what you like. Tell us if you have ever worked with oil pastel in another medium before, and if you guys have had, the same challenges that we have had, or if there's some secret society out there that's just drawn with oil pastels and watercolor all the time.
Hey, let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
Anyway, be sure to check us out on Facebook at Parlor number 13, as well as Instagram, and Talk Parlor number 13 on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
You can also find us on all your favorite podcast platforms. And, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment with your thoughts, and choose your favorite artwork. Keep the creativity flowing and your inspiration, let your inspiration soar, and together we will create, we inspire, and we transform art into a journey. See you guys at the next challenge.
See you guys. Yeah, whatever you're doing, wherever you're at, just be safe. Thank you, guys.